Hello, I'm Jennifer Hilton, and I'm here on screen right now with Solanna Anderson. And Solanna is part of the Transforming Anxiety and Stress team. And the program at the Haven is running November 28th to December 1st. And myself and Graham Brown are the leaders of the program. And Solanna and a few others are actually assisting the group that whoever shows up. So we actually wanted to just take a few minutes here on video to say hello and talk a little bit about the program. Like, why would you want to come to this program and why now? And I think a lot of it has to do with, people who are in the program relating to each other and relating to this whole process of anxiety, which I relate to. It's funny, I'm actually now teaching it because it's probably the thing I need to learn most. So we wanted to just give you a little bit more information about the program, and you can hear a little bit of our stories. So Solanna, how are you?
I'm good. I feel a little bit anxious. I'm excited
Yes,
to be on this video.
of course.
Yeah, I wanted to share a little bit about how I first came to this course and why I think it's such a valuable one to take. So I have struggled with different types of stress and anxiety throughout my whole life. And before I took Transforming Anxiety and Stress, my typical approach to it was to try to manage, control, and suppress that anxiety. And a lot of that I did through avoiding situations or risks that created anxiety, or just numbing out through Netflix or alcohol or whatever I could do to stop feeling what I was feeling. And when I took Transforming Anxiety and Stress, I had a total shift around to how I approach my anxiety as my aliveness, and how I could create more space for feeling those feelings and taking those risks, and the possibilities of how my life expanded afterwards was very exciting. So I love now, as I come back as an assistant, I love seeing that happen for our participants. And so I'm excited to talk about the course today.
Yeah. Oh gosh, so much of what you said is true for me too. Obviously, I took the course many, many years ago and felt the same way. It was like something was different in the approach in the program that was, not the same as trying to manage our anxiety or control it or make it go away. And I think the outcome for me, and it's, ongoing in terms of a process, is developing a different relationship to my anxiety, where I don't have to reject it, that I can find ways to accept and, like, as you said, harness that energy. Because underneath anxiety, at least for me, and I think for many others, is fear. And so, there's fear of ... And yet it's not necessarily a disorder, and it's not necessarily who I am. And I think what I'm hearing from a lot of people these days is labels such as I have social anxiety, or I have generalized anxiety disorder, and all of those kind of labels. And for me, it's not like that. And I think in our program, we offer alternatives to that kind of thinking, which hasn't really worked for me when I actually identify with anxiety in that way. So I, like you, am excited when I see people actually shifting from one perspective into another. And I think that's what our program can offer people.
It really opens up new possibilities, as opposed to identifying with this part of myself that I struggle a lot with. I can expand or open into that aliveness. And I also like what you said about, for me, the program helps to dig deep into what is our underlying fear or anxiety of what's really going on, because I'm often operating at a surface level neuroses that isn't actually my deeper fear. And if I'm willing to explore that, I really get a better understanding of who I am and what matters to me. And that's a beautiful part of this program.
Yeah, it's so much. I just got a little chill up my spine when you said that, in terms of expanding possibilities. And and seeing beyond what is actually what you think it is in the moment. So
Mhm.
over the 4 days, we give people a really in-depth opportunity to look at this process for people. And I tend to believe now that anxiety is part of life. And it actually, I remember when anxiety used to mean excitement, and actually, oh, I'm anxious about something used to mean that's a good thing. And unfortunately, a lot of what's happened in the world today is it's made anxiety a bad word. And we want to take sort of the stigma away from that and give people an opportunity to reframe and reposition the way they think and feel about their own, I guess, aroused energy, because really that's what it is in the body. When I have anxiety and I'm shaky and kind of wobbly, it's an energy inside
Yes.
my body. And I've learned now, and through the program, we actually offer a lot of tools to transform it. And that's why we call it transforming, because it's not necessarily about getting rid of something. It's about moving beyond something and coming up with new ways of being with it. So I
Mhm.
think the tools, we've gotten lots of feedback from people that the tools that we offer are transformative and very embodied, not just head tools, but body tools that can help even in the moment of having anxiety, or what people might call a panic attack would help.
Yes, which is, I think, what part of what makes the program so different and unique is we do focus on the body and giving a direct experience. Like, it's one thing to say, oh, I feel anxious, this is my aliveness and excitement. But when you're in the midst of a panic attack, it doesn't feel that way. And it's I can't think myself out of that. But in these experiential programs, I actually have an experience of, oh, I can feel this as excitement, my aliveness as a positive thing, and reframe how I approach when I'm feeling anxious or the beginnings of a panic attack. So I have some choice of how I want to respond.
That's yeah, I agree with you totally. So I think there's so much that as an opportunity to explore the depth of this anxiety, and even our philosophy under it. It's not so much about something that's bad, like I said. It's more about how we can transform it. So we hope that whoever's watching this and whoever's checking us out on our Anxiety Cafe page or on the Haven website, that this has given you a little flavor of who we are and what we can actually offer in this program. And if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to know further, please be in touch with us. Again, the program is happening November 28th to December 1st at the Haven, and you can check that out at haven.ca, transforming anxiety and stress. So I really look forward to our time together again, Solanna, at the end of the month, and whoever else shows up. And by the way, it's so odd because a lot of people are talking about social anxiety, and so it's strange for people to think about coming together in a group setting because it's social, and yet we invite you actually to come fully with that and be with us in it, because we relate.
Yes. Yeah, there was just one more thing I thought that I wanted to say for folks that are sort of sitting on the fence and wondering, oh, should I take all this time and an investment of money to take the training? And in thinking about that question, I just encourage everyone to consider what the costs of living with anxiety and stress might be in your life, and to consider the possibility that you may be worth taking this time to transform your relationship and explore new possibilities for your life.
Very well said. Very well said. At the cost, and of course, there's a little addition there in terms of a benefit. This
Yes.
aliveness in ourselves with our anxiety that we can experience and shift. So, thanks again, Solanna, and we'll sign off for now and look forward to seeing you